Yo guys, Big Boy Reviews here. Alright, we got a book review today and it is an awesome one. We're talking about Cormac McCarthy's Suttree. Now I just finished this book moments ago and wow. I mean, this was an emotional roller coaster. I was so involved with this novel and it's just standing proof of how good you can write a story without having a plot whatsoever. But before I get into all that, let me give a little bit of background information on this book. Now, Cormac McCarthy actually, I'm not even kidding when I say this, it took him right around 30 years to write this thing. That is a long time. It's also his longest book, but I mean, when you put it next to a lot of other books, it's not even that big. It's close to 500 pages, but just knowing that he invested so much time, I'm sure that he put breaks in between, obviously, 30 years, but just so much time. He wrote this thing through like half of a lifetime. So you can just see all the things that he incorporated through his life. That's what writers do. They incorporate new things that come into their lives, into their fiction, and you can just see it when you read it. It's awesome. This book preceded Blood Meridian, which went on to be another awesome book. And this story is just so captivating. Alright, so let's talk about what Suttree is all about. Now, literally the back of the book, and this is the coolest part, it doesn't even give you any information on what you're about to read, which I love, and I've never gone into something with that big open-minded opinion. The back of the book literally says, Cornelius Suttree left a forsaken life to live in a houseboat on the Tennessee River. That's like seriously all this man gives you to go off from. So we have our main character, Cornelius Suttree, but everybody calls him Suttree. They literally say Cornelius like 3 or 4 times in the whole book. I don't really know how old he is, but if I had to guess, I'd say around late 30s, early 40s. You never find out. So he lives in this houseboat on the Tennessee River. It's basically like a big wooden boat with a shanty house on top of it, metal, and he's got a stove inside. He really lives a very poor life. And when it says that he left a forsaken life, we get little glimpses throughout the book about his past, where he had left his wife and son for unknown reasons. We don't know why, but he left them and he just decided to change his lifestyle drastically and become a fisherman, making maybe, if he's lucky, $10 a week, just selling catfish to whoever will buy it from him. So really it's just a book of survival. That's like the biggest plot point I can even give you. I mean, the book is just structured, each chapter is almost like a little short story. They range from him going into town, selling his catches, going out to the bar with his friend J-Bone and Ocean Frog, to just randomly walking off into the woods into a completely different state and then getting on a bus to drive all the way back. It's just really strange chapters, but it's so poetic and fun to read. The only thing I can think about relating it to is a Quentin Tarantino film. Like, you wonder why you're not bored when you're watching these long, like page-long dialogue scenes, and you're just like so invested into it, but you don't know why you're so invested into it. That's like the only thing I can think of to relate Suttree to. You'll read conversations for page after page about nothing and you'll just be like, this is awesome. I'll skip talking about all the events that come into play because, you know, what would be the point of reading it if I told you that? But basically the book is just about him and the people he meets in his life. There are a varied selection of characters, awesome characters, the most believable, living, breathing characters I've ever read in a piece of literature. He just brings them to life with their realistic dialogue and their witty humor. This book is hilarious. Most of that is brought out from a particular character, my favorite character, Jean Harrogate. I could talk for hours about how many times this kid, who's the exact same age as me, 18 years old, how he made me laugh out loud throughout this book. Suttree meets him in a prison, and they basically become friends after that. And the book is actually structured so that for the most part of the book, you actually flop back between Suttree and Harrogate, so it's a really cool technique there. He goes by the nickname of the Moonlight Melon Mounter. Think about that. A book has never made me laugh so hard, and this book is just comic filled. I mean, it's just the funniest book probably ever written. It really is. Oh my gosh, the bat part. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. All in all, Suttree is a fantastic read. Oh my gosh, one of the best books I have ever read in my entire life. And Cormac McCarthy is just proving to be my favorite author every single day. So please check this book out, people. Read it, and just spread it on to others. This book just needs to be read. It is just so memorable, and the characters within it will just put a smile on your face. So thanks for watching this review, guys. If you want to see my other Cormac McCarthy book reviews like Blood Meridian, No Country for Old Men, The Road, blah, 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 the list goes on. I've read almost all of them. Go on over to my channel and check those out if you're interested, and thank you again for watching this. Bye-bye.